Good evening, Team McKoy. Good evening, Team McKoy. I said, good evening, Team McKoy. You guys excited tonight about what we're going to do on May 8th? I said, are you excited about what we're going to do on May 8th? I need to hear you. Are you excited about what we're going to do on May 8th? I dare you to stand to your feet and put your hands together for William Bill McKoy. If you are excited about what we're going to do on Tuesday, May 8th. I don't know about you, but Tuesday is a day that we're going to change the paradigm in this city. It is no more business as usual. Do you know why they're afraid of Bill McKoy? They understand that a righteous man cannot be defeated. They understand that a holy man cannot be defeated. No matter how many people they say that your enemies will come against you one way and they'll flee before you 7 ways. There's only 6 people in the match, so guess what? One of them is going to flee twice. Trust me, one of them is going to flee twice. The attacks that have been brought against Bill McKoy have fallen to the ground and they will produce no fruit. As a matter of fact, that whole Martin Luther King attack that they brought on him did about as much damage to him as a fly on an elephant's spine. It had absolutely no wings. It had no teeth to it. Let me say this. There was an article in the newspaper today that said prominent African-American leaders, a long line of prominent African-American leaders have endorsed the other candidate for mayor. Well, I think after this election, we're going to have a talk about who the prominent African-American leaders are. Because I think they're getting it all wrong. We have pastors in this city that are not leading by righteousness. How can you be holy men of the cloth and holy men of God, yet you support someone who misrepresents themselves? Someone who has no problem lying and deceiving the public just to get where they want to go. Is that what you teach your members on Sunday morning? To do whatever you have to do to get wherever you want to go? Is that what you teach them on Sunday morning? Do you teach them morality? Because if you teach them morality and you teach them holiness, you wouldn't be supporting the person that you're backing. But I believe that this election is being done deliberately to expose some folks in this city. And the voters better be careful and look at each and every candidate in the race, because this election is bringing out the worst in people so that we can see what's been going on in this city all the while. We can see what's been happening in our town all the while. Some of these other campaign teams will say, well, Bill McKoy hasn't done anything. Well, if you're talking about unholy things, no, he hasn't done anything in that regard. If you're talking about being crooked and corrupt, no, he hasn't done anything in that regard. If you're talking about cutting corners and cheating the community, no, he hasn't done anything in that regard. Absolutely not. This man has done everything righteously, even when people don't want to hear it. The truth can be sometimes the most hurtful thing in the world. But as I always say, I want you to tell me the truth and hurt my feelings and make me feel good with a lie. And just because you take a picture somewhere and leave doesn't mean you've been everywhere. That's another lie that's going around, and this other candidate is everywhere. Let me tell you something. I was at the school board meeting. I watched this person walk into the school board meeting, sign in and leave and say they were there to support the kids. He wasn't even there for a minute. So taking a picture somewhere and leaving doesn't mean you were there. It just means that you're perpetrating a fraud and a lie. So much so that now you need everybody in the whole city to endorse you because you're obviously nervous. Some people say that the 3rd time is a charm. I say 3 strikes and you're out. It's time to go. The city of Paterson, it was stated earlier, the city of Paterson is not for sale. Let me reiterate that point. We are not going to allow ourselves to be sold into slavery again. Now, I know there was a young rapper, Kanye West, and I know everybody's been going after him about his statement. Let me say this. Slavery in its initiation might not have been our choice, but to remain slaves, that's a choice. And to allow people to come into our community and play us against ourselves, that's a choice. And to allow ourselves to be political prisoners and to be held captive by people who have no desire to help us, that's a choice. So in that regard, realize slavery is a choice if we decide to continue to remain that way. We have a choice come Tuesday to say we do not want your 40 pieces of silver. We do not want what you have to offer us because we've already seen what you've done. Just think about it. If they had so much to offer, why are they attacking Bill so much? If they have so much to offer the city of Paterson, why are they after him so much? Because they don't have anything to offer the city of Paterson. Anybody who's been paying attention to the city council meetings know that only Councilman Morris and Councilman McKoy are the ones who always have something to say concerning the financial state of the city, how we're going to run the city. And if you watch the council meetings, the other council members will sit there and take notes and listen. Then when they make their comments, they'll say the exact same thing that Councilman McKoy said, and they'll switch the words around to make it look like it was their thought. The last time they voted on the budget, Bill McKoy was smart and he abstained from the vote. He passed so that he could allow them to talk, and they didn't know what to say. He deliberately did that. And if you watched it, it was a circus because everybody was looking at him, waiting for him to say something, including the council president. They didn't know what to do. They were looking at him and they were just hoping that he would say something that they could jot down and twist around some kind of way. They're lost without him.
You better tell it.
They don't want to admit it, but the council is lost without him. So why would we think that he couldn't do the job as mayor? If he's holding down the council, he's the dean of the council. The dean. Let me tell you something. You don't get to serve that many terms if you're not doing anything. And you know, the way people try to project it, they make it seem like the reason why he won is because of his ethnicity. Let me tell you something. Every single time Bill McKoy ran, he had some pretty heavy competitors. The last time he won the third ward race, half the school board ran against him. And he beat them all. Let me say that one more time. The last time he ran the third ward, half the school board ran against him. And they all lost. And half of them were backed by the party. Let me tell you something. I'm a Democrat. Yeah, I am. But I'm not favorable when it comes down to the establishmentarian and the this takeover attitude that we have to come in and do what we want to do with this city. They have a puppet that they threw in the race again.
That's right.
They have a puppet that they threw in the race again. This is a nonpartisan election. We need to make sure that we send the message once again that we are not going to be dictated to when it comes down to who we need to vote for. We're not going to allow anybody to stand in front of us and say, this is the person that you need to put there. We know who we want there. The community knows who we want there. I was standing outside the building today and somebody told me outright that I'm with McKoy. I'm not with that party person. And I said, well, spread that message because we needed to get around the city that the people that are in high places. Spiritual wickedness is always in high places. You know why? Because when you're humility and when you're humble and when you're low, it's not too easy to be so evil when you're down there amongst the people and they can touch you and they can see what you're doing and they know where you're at. But when you're sitting up in real high places, making decisions for the community that you don't even live in. Making decisions for a community that you don't even shop in or eat in. And you're making decisions for that community. There are people right now making decisions for Paterson that will never step foot in this city. But they want to control the city. They want to control the handbag in City Hall. We can't let them do that. This is why they're so upset. They may have all of the politicians. They may have all of the clergy. They may have all of the so-called statesmen, but we have the grassroots. All the activists in the city are on this side. All the people who truly care are on this side. And on May 8th, we're going to give them hell. Trust me. We're going to hit those streets and we're going to let them know that they didn't chase us away. We stayed and we're going to continue to remain. No matter how many attacks they bring against us. Let me tell you, brother, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And every tongue that rise up against you in judgment shall be condemned. This is your heritage as a servant of the Lord. And your righteousness is of him. So they may come against you, but they will not succeed. That's what I'm saying here tonight. They will not succeed. How many of y'all believe that? If you believe that, make some noise in this place. They're not going going to succeed. We're going to do what we need to do, and we're going to get over the finish line. And when we get over there, we'll be there to help them too. Because we're righteous people. We're not going to be vindictive, but we're going to do what we have to do to help them too. Why? Because the Lord will make your enemies your footstool. He'll prepare a table before you, right in the presence of your enemies. And he'll make your enemies be at peace with you. And that's what's going to happen. All of Bill's enemies are going to be at peace with him because God is going to shut their mouth. He's going to bring them down, and he's going to show them